What's going on YouTube? So wagons are basically a forbidden fruit here in America, yet alone high performance ones. However, I'm standing next to one right now, the absolutely gorgeous 2021 Audi RS6. The wagon that we've always wanted in America has finally come, and today we're going to review it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so let's go ahead and kick things off with the exterior. Now, I'll try not to say sexy more than 25 or 30 times, but that's really the best way to describe this thing. It's absolutely sexy and gorgeous. And that starts right up here at the front. You've got the really wide Audi single frame grille here. You've got a couple different options you can choose from with this. So you have a little bit of silver up here in the front as standard, but you have the black optic package and the carbon optic package that you can choose. That's going to black out everything. Since we have the carbon optic package, we also have carbon fiber that trims all along the bottom here, and then over here at the side where you have the really big brake cooling duct, of course, fully functional because you will need that. Now, turning over here to your headlights, you have the newest Audi Matrix design. Of course, you have dynamic turn signal indicators, and you have the animations when you get inside and out. Now, when it comes to the wheels, you're always going to look like you're rolling around in a concept vehicle because you have really large options no matter what. You start with a 21-inch alloy, kind of with a silver finish. However, we have the just stunning looking 22-inch turbine alloys. These come in 3 different finishes depending on whatever your taste is. We have the black one. But like I said, absolutely lovely, especially with the contrasting 16.5-inch red brake calipers. This is just a really stunning look over here, and you also have that wrapped in high performance tires. And jumping up here to your mirrors with the carbon optic package, the top will be finished in carbon fiber, of course. And then you've got all the typical features you would come to expect, like blind spot monitoring, heating, and auto dimming. Now here at the rear 3/4 is really where my heart skips a beat just looking at this RS6 Avant. I mean, wow, this is probably one of the sexiest rears I've ever seen on any car, and I don't dole out that compliment on anything. This is just so good looking. So breaking down what actually makes it that good looking, for one, as you can see, it has a very long and wide stance. So as you can see, it's a very long design, and it's actually 1.6 inches wider than the Audi A6 sedan. So you can definitely see that benefit in the way that it looks. Now, coming around to the rear itself, of course, this is going to be a beautiful design as well. So we're going to have Audi's full LED taillights with the dynamic turn signals. We have a black piece that goes in between them. We have RS6 branding. Then dropping down to the diffuser area, this is going to all be carbon fiber on this model. And we also have the large diameter exhaust pipes. Absolutely massive exhausts. I can warm up my hands on this awesome exhaust. And let's go ahead and take a listen since we have the sport exhaust. Now, if you're driving a little too fast and are in need of safety systems, Audi does have you covered since you have forward emergency braking standard, and if you go for the driver's assistance package, that's going to throw in the rest of your safety systems that you're looking for, like lane keeping, auto high beams, as well as blind spot monitoring. Well guys, that's going to sum up the exterior design of this sexy Audi RS6, but I know there's a lot of luxury on the inside, so let's go ahead and check that out. And before we do that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. So of course, as you would expect, you do have the newest Audi Q5 design, and you have dedicated RS branding on the back. It is all finished in a piano black finish. And then walking up to the door itself, just grab behind the sensor and it will unlock. Now check out this cabin. It is absolutely gorgeous, definitely visually stunning when you first look inside, and there's tons of wonderful details once you start digging around. Now as always, we've got a few different ways you can equip the interior. So what we've got are the black seats with the red contrast stitching. You can also get black or gray stitching instead, and there's the additional color option of a cognac brown. And as far as your different interior trims, you have standard aluminum, or we have the optional carbon fiber twill, as they call it. And we're going to take a look closer at that once I turn over here to the door trim. Now checking out the door trim itself, beautiful Napa leather on the armrest with the color contrast stitching. We have Alcantara above it. This is the carbon twill trim. Basically this is like carbon fiber, but it's left exposed, so it has a really rough texture to it. Really unique, I love it. Across the top there is some more Napa leather again with the stitching. We have aluminum buttons for fully automatic windows and 2-person memory seating right here. Checking out the seats, we have the 10-way power adjusting seats with 4-way lumbar support and a manual thigh extension. And then these seats, oh, I love these seats. These are absolutely gorgeous seats. You have just a really beautiful stitching design right here. It is of course a sport seat, and you have the RS embroidered right into it. And if you fail to shut the door fully, it will pull it closed for you. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look around the interior materials. Now, like I already mentioned, of course, it is absolutely beautifully finished all throughout. So across your upper dashboard, this is all finished in Napa leather since we have the extended leather package. Down below that, we have more generous use of this carbon twill trim across this kind of shelf area. Down in the middle, we have piano black trim, and that does continue down here. You have some real aluminum, and again, you have Napa leather, even down here on your lower areas where your knee might bump against. All right, but now let's get to the fun part. Just press this red trimmed button to fire up this beast. So in addition to the roar of the engine, you will be greeted by the special RS virtual cockpit layout to show you that you're driving a very special vehicle. Of course, we have our G meter pulled up right now and this kind of race style tachometer, but you can of course change different types of layouts by pressing on the view button, and then you can cycle through various things such as your full map display. Now, as you'd expect, up at the top, you do have a head-up display as an option. And then coming back to the steering wheel itself, you do have an exclusive design. This is a full perforated leather steering wheel with the color contrast stitching detail. It feels really lovely and looks very nice as well, of course. It is going to be power adjusting, and you do have standard heating. Then I also want to take a look up here at your paddle shifters. These are a special RS design, full aluminum, and as you can see, there's like a little gap right there at the top, I guess for weight savings. Really makes for a cool look, and they feel super nice to the touch. Alright, so now let's go ahead and check the storage. Of course, it's not the main focus of a vehicle like this, but we'll go ahead and open up the center console. Anyways, and we've got a pretty good amount of space, nice felt lining, as well as a wireless phone charging pad and 2 USB ports. And you guys know I've got to do it. It's a requirement in the Car Confections reviews. I gotta pull out the coupons. Let's see if we can get them in here. You know, actually, I think it's going to fit. If you fold them in half and close the lid on there, those will actually stay inside. And then beyond that, we've got our 2 cup holders, a little slot for you to stick your key fob, and then also a 12-volt outlet. Alright, so heading over here to our electronic shifter, again, you will find the special perforated leather on board. You're just going to press down on this button and pull back for drive. And then you can bump over here to the right if you want to control the manual shifting right here, or once again, you can use those really nice metal paddle shifters. Heading into reverse, of course, you're going to find a standard 360-degree camera system. This is Audi's newest version, so as you can see, it does bend with your active trajectory. You also have your dedicated 360 view, and then, most impressively, if you press 3D, it allows you to spin completely around the car in 3 dimensions. Really, really nice camera system. It even includes details like your turn signal. So one of the best 360 cameras in the business. And then you also have your electronic parking brake right behind there. And now let's go ahead and sample the audio system. Now we've got a special treat for you guys because this one here is equipped with the optional $5,000 1820 watt 19 speaker Bang & Olufsen advanced 3D sound system. So let's go ahead and see just how great this sounds. Yeah, so this is without a doubt one of the best sound systems I've ever heard in a vehicle. Absolutely phenomenal. And then of course you've got the tweeters that rise out of the dashboard, which that by itself is cool enough really to choose this option. Okay, so now let's take a look here at our 2 displays. So just like in most recent Audi products, we've got the 8.6-inch display down here at the bottom, a 10.1-inch display up top, with the lower one being mostly for the climate controls. So to adjust, you can just swipe up and down, or you can just press down with the haptic feedback. We also have 3-stage heated seats on board, of course, as you'd expect. We also have 3-stage ventilated seats as well. And then moving on up to our top display, this is where the latest MMI touch response system lives. You've got the shortcuts there on the side, and you will have all the latest technologies such as wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. We also have a built-in navigation system on board, and of course the system is extremely responsive. We don't have them on right now, but you can turn on the Google Earth maps in this display as well as in the virtual cockpit. Now of course this is a pretty complex system with a lot of different features, so if you want to learn more about the MMI touch response system, click the link to our dedicated video in the description. Moving on up here, we do have a standard auto dimming mirror with HomeLink remotes, and then we have not just one moonroof, but 2 moonroofs. This has the dual panel setup. As you can see, both portions do have power sunshades, and the front portion does open up.
Now, if you're lucky enough to be one of the rear occupants in the RS6 Avant, you're also going to be treated with a lot of luxury and a lot of space. So I don't have the technical legroom figures for this RS6 Avant, but as far as the A6 all-road, that has 37 inches of rear legroom and 40 inches of rear headroom, which is probably a good reference point if you're looking for space figures. And behind roof seating position, I really have no issues in terms of space. I probably have 7 inches, if not 8, and my feet can easily slide up underneath the seat. Now, as far as the feature set, Of course, this is a $100,000 plus wagon, so we're going to have standard vents. We also have our own climate controls. These are 4-zone automatic, and you also are going to have heated rear seats included in the executive package. Down below that, we have 2 USB Type-Cs, a 12-volt outlet, and if we fold down this armrest, you do have pop-out cup holders inside. Now walking up to the tailgate, a hands-free power one is going to be standard across the board, so just wave your foot under the bumper or use the button to open it up. And once it does, this is one of the beauties of having a wagon, because guess what? You have a lot of space back here. You have 30 cubic feet behind the second row seats, which, you know, that's plenty of space, and especially for something with this much power. This is basically a supercar. This can fit anything you want in. You can actually fully travel. This is not like a Lambo where you can only fit one golf bag in the back or anything like that. Now, as far as how it's finished, of course, it is finished with the nicest amenities. So we have a really nice carpeting along the floor, and if we lift it up, we do have a little bit of storage. Maybe you could put maybe a little something down there. We have a 12-volt power outlet off to the side, as well as our buttons to fold the second row seats. And we also have a cargo cover that is kind of like a power setup that folds down when the tailgate shuts. Now, of course, your passenger seat is going to be power adjusting, as you would expect. And as far as the glove box is concerned, we do have a really good sized glove box. It's nicely felt lined, and as far as how our coupons can fit in here, now, probably don't need coupons if you can afford one of these, but guess what? That's how you save money, and don't be too arrogant to use coupons in a vehicle like this, and they do fit in there just fine. Now, up top, we do have a sun visor with an LED light as well as a mirror, and you can also detach it as well as extend. Hey guys, so we're here in the back of the Audi RS6 Avant. Now, we're not able to drive this vehicle because obviously this is sold and it's irreplaceable, so if someone were to rear end us or something on a test drive, well, let's just say someone will be very, very upset with us about that. But we are at the gas station, and we're going to get a very, 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 very short drive just to kind of show you guys what it's like. But stay tuned for that. Well guys, that's going to wrap up this absolutely absurdly awesome review of the all-new 2021 Audi RS6 Avant. Now, of course, this is a very rare vehicle, so we want to give another special thanks and shout out to Audi of Lexington for letting us take a look at this sold unit. And be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. All it's going to do is give you notifications on all of our most recent content, and hopefully we'll have a lot more cool content like this coming up in the near future. So we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.